Welcome, my homies, to another episode of the Please Do Tell podcast. I'm here with my awesome co-host.
Hey, it's Jeffrey. I'm here. Welcome back.
Yes, Jeffrey. Welcome back. I do want to say that someone did have something to say about me switching out my glasses, and they thought it was pretty cool.
What did they say? What did they say?
Um, uh, First of all, it was, what's the story with behind you and the glasses? I said, oh, you don't know about the Ray J, the viral video? No, I don't think that's in my age range. I said, oh, okay. Well, like in one clip, he had changed his hat on his
Yeah,
head
I remember
multiple
that.
times.
Yeah.
So I thought that it would be funny that every time that Jeffrey started talking, and then it would throw back to me that I should have a new pair of glasses.
That's crazy.
hmm So people enjoyed it.
I did. It was look, and then I even had a chance to kind of vote on them, so I was even more excited about it. So
They may come back. We don't
yeah,
know. They may come
yeah,
back
yeah.
again. But welcome back, our homies. When this show premieres, it will be election day.
Woo.
So, and it premieres at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, even if you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot to vote. No, you don't. We come out, and then you're going to listen to the episode, and then you're like, you know what? I need to go exercise my right to vote.
Most states. I think the earliest state closes maybe at like 6. So
Mm.
that may be like one of the earliest, and I think like Indiana closes at like 7. Some states stay open as late as 9. You know,
Didn't I
uh,
know? I think I'm used to us being 8, I think, p.m., 8 p.m.
actually, it's kind
Michigan.
of
It's Michigan.
it's it's election day here now in New York. Election day started on Sunday, this past Sunday, and we have from the Sunday before election, well, Sunday to Sunday. So you got a week before actual election day, and then that Monday you cannot vote.
hmm
And the Tuesday, there's the election day voting as well. But you have so many people that's voting, and so you want to make sure that people have the opportunity to vote. So they give New Yorkers a week actually to vote. So you kind of don't have a excuse running around here saying, "Hey, I didn't have time," because you can vote on a Sunday, you can vote on a Saturday, and the polls are typically open from 7 to like 9 p.m. Yeah, it's all day.
Okay, so yeah, really no excuses whatsoever. It's accommodating every shift.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And then it's a big election around here, so things is. I know we've seen it. I know probably you guys have seen it nationally with the assemblyman Mandami is going against Cuomo, who's the former governor, in the independent candidate, and then Swalwell, who's the Republican candidate. And so it's been heating up. The former mayor, well, the current mayor, he stepped down out of the election like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, after saying vehemently he was not going to step out of the election. So um, I think this one is kind of really up for grabs.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I love a good race.
around here is Republican and Democrat, but one of the things I remember back in Michigan, specifically, because I know you guys have an election, it's election day as well, is
hmm
uh, it's nonpartisan. So typically, when it's nonpartisan, like we're not even worried about Democrats, Republicans. It's like, are your people my people? Or are your folks my folks? So
Yeah,
it's a little bit different.
yeah.
It's a little more intense. So I can only imagine what's going on in Michigan.
I wanted to end. I'm so glad for I'm so glad for today. I'm about tired.
Was it a lot of
Tired.
campaign ads?
It's a lot of I don't know if it's really ads. It's more bashing.
Okay.
I guess that's an ad. That would be an ad.
Going at characters or
Yeah,
at their record?
character.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just been looking forward to November 4th of the year of our
Mm.
Lord 2025.
I'm excited. I'm always excited about a good election.
Mhm.
I've had an opportunity to be on the ballot on election day
What?
multiple times. Yeah,
Mhm.
I've been a winner. I've been a loser. So that ballot election days are stressful. Okay, actually, that's a lie. The As a candidate, or if you're working on a campaign, election election day is probably the easiest of all the days
Okay. All right.
because now you just let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah.
You just let the chips fall where they may. Go about your business. But that's when your arch supporters are out at the polls and they're getting into it with each other. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Making
ab-
fake pages to slam one another. It's just been a great season.
yeah.
We're excited. Well, I don't know if we're, but I'm excited in Michigan and specifically Ben Harbor for it to be over. God bless America. Okay, so um we can never get enough of listeners, aka we call y'all our homies. We can never get enough of you all giving feedback, sending your love, saying what you enjoyed or what you did not like about the episode. Um, you all believe in giving your opinion, and we love hearing it. To YouTube comments, to inboxes, to even some text messages. I think that keeps us motivated and that we're going in the right direction. So thank you so much for that. I from time to time I will just get a message, a quick message. I'm like, gosh, did I say that on the show? Um, it's inspiring. So thank you. It's inspiring. It's motivating. It keeps us going. So keep them coming. We appreciate you so much. We do this for you all. We of course have a good time doing it, and we have a good time. We love when you all say that. I learned something from that episode, or I was entertained, and I mean, entertained is always a plus. So thank you for continuing to encourage us to keep going.
Hopefully the universe is, just keep, we're talking about storytelling and
Hmm.
I just keep having just randomness happen to me just over and over just to be able to share. I got a
Hmm.
story that I was thinking, man, I'm gonna share that one probably in 2, 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to keep that little
Yep.
in my cap. But then it tapped me on my shoulder again. It was like, no, you want to share that one. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's definitely motivating, when people say, "Hey, I've had that experience," or want to share their story, because then even though you may not have the microphone, we have the microphone, and we'll use our voice as with the mic to share your story.
One of the things, since you brought up storytelling, this past Tuesday, so it would be a week ago. Um, I work for Lori's Place, and one of the new initiatives is telling the stories, kind of like what I did with Final 48 Project, with telling your grief journey or telling that story, your grief story. We actually had a Pechacucha style spotlight showcase for those individuals that went through the courses with me, because we did 3 sessions, and then the fourth session is actually um, your showcase. And so we were able to have 3 people present on Tuesday night in a small, intimate setting, and it was absolutely beautiful. I was able to see some of the clips from Tuesday today at work, and when I say storytelling, I love it was like watching your students graduate. You got it. You got it. Three
Mhm.
sessions, 3 sessions, and then they're in a showcase, and it was absolutely beautiful. So, that was even just a nod to myself, because sometimes imposter syndrome can come in, but Tuesday night it was like, oh no, girl, that's all you. That's your wheelhouse. That's you. That's you.
Well,
So,
they retaining it. I mean, it's being effective. and then they're able to share. Because one
Mhm.
can get, but you want to be able to share and move and pass it on as well.
Yep. Absolutely. So, shall we get to the episode? I mean, we do know that we're in the month of November. It is National Child Grief Awareness Month, but we also know that it is No Shave November. So I'm gonna just throw that to Jeffrey. Do you participate in No Shave November,
Don't
or
come at
is
me.
that putting you on
Don't come
spot?
for
Okay,
me.
okay,
Don't
okay.
come for
Just
me.
I
Don't
didn't,
come
I
for
didn't know.
me.
I didn't know.
Actually, if you'd have asked me that maybe a month ago or 4 or 5 episodes ago, you'd have been correct because I had just said, you know what? I'm not going to the barber. But actually, a few years ago, I did participate. Maybe like 10 years ago, I participated
Mm-hmm.
in No Shave November. I think like when it first came out. Uh, or when it first became prevalent across the country. But at that point, I was beardless, as in I just had a goatee, so it was a lot to have like the little, extra sideburn meat on the little side. So I don't think I made it. I think went to like day 21 or 24, but I didn't make it all the way. Nah, not at all. No,
It's
mm-mm,
enough for me, dog. Got it.
for me.
All
And then,
right.
I mean, this year. Oh, I mean, if I wanna go to barber, I'm gonna go. I mean, and I understand people say, "Well, that's pretty heartless," that saying that, "Yo, if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go." But, I mean, I can find a cause to do it, and I don't have to do it just for the month of November. I could do it,
Mm-hmm.
like, October 15th through November 15th, you know what I mean? I'm a rule breaker, so I like
We know.
yeah,
If you don't know,
yeah, yeah,
now you know.
yeah, yeah.
He always and forever will be a rule breaker.
What? No shave November. What we doing? Like we
Mm,
gonna gather this hair and sell it?
I'm not doing this.
Money
No,
so
I'm
that we
not
can
doing
make
it.
wigs and stuff.
Nope.
I don't know. So
Nope.
yeah,
See how we went left? Nope. Okay, I'm just
that
gonna
wasn't left.
jump
That was
right
that was a
into.
that was a veer.
Mm, mm, No. Mm-mm. So we know that clearly November hits differently, right?
When I think of
Okay.
November, I think of dressing. I don't know about nobody else. I think of dressing. And if you don't know, I'll let you know. Some people may call it a little stuffing because it just depends on where you're at. Because growing up in the Midwest, we knew it was dressing. If you said stuffing, we was like stuffing. But but over
Kind
here,
of like our pumpkin pie.
right, right.
Hmm. Hmm.
But over here, people do eat actual stuffing. It's a East
Oh,
Coast thing where, um, I guess where the pilgrims fry. So I don't know. So yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know anything about stuffing though. I remember when they tried to serve us that stovetop stuffing when we was kids. I didn't like that. I
yeah,
didn't like that. I was like,
yeah,
"What is this?"
yeah.
And then it was like, I think it had flaxseed or something in it. And as a kid, you like flaxseed. Oh my god, no. No.
And as an adult, you're like, give me more flaxseed, give me more. Want to keep myself good and regular.
Mm-mm.
That's what you just, yeah.
What do you think about when you think of November?
When I think about November, I definitely think about gathering over a grandparent's house. No one, I mean, what does my sister say? She says, you couldn't tell us we was broke because our grandparents had Cadillacs. That's true. That is very true. But we also, you got big
We didn't have
families
Cadillac.
gathering. Well,
We was a
not
Lincoln family, just to throw it over there. We the stankin'
that
Lincoln.
too. That too.
You either had
Lincoln's
Lincolns or Cadillac.
Cadillac. They had both. I was like,
We wasn't stunting like that. We just had a little stankin' Lincoln.
stunned.
Them
Stunned
Lincolns
like
were
my
so
granddad.
them cars were so long.
They were long, and the horns sound like a train. I will never forget it. We were it was someone had a wedding, and then the whole tradition, I don't know where it came from, that you ride around the city in the little, was it processional train after a wedding or
After a wedding.
during the reception.
With the little canned goods off the
Yes. My aunt, my mom's youngest sister, was driving my granddaddy's Cadillac, and that was the first time she had leaned on that horn, and that thing was like, "Whoa." I said,
Oh,
what,
that's a
what?
grown horn. That's a grown horn.
No, I don't want any more. And she was like, I'm afraid to keep blowing it because it's scaring folks.
Mhm.
Yeah, they had a serious horn, so
I
it was
remember one
screaming money.
I remember one time I was at my aunt's house, and I had to be 5 years old. It was a Sunday, and she was at the house. She was babysitting me because my mom
Mm-hmm.
was working. She was volunteering for the women's safe shelter, and my grandma had to go to church on Sunday. So somebody had to
Yeah.
watch the little boy, for church. One day, all of a sudden, we sitting there chilling, and the horn goes off on the car automatically. And when I say it goes off, it constantly goes off, as in, um, uh, my uncle at the time had to go underneath the hood and disconnect it because the horn would not stop buzzing. That horn went off for like 30. No, that horn was off for like 2 minutes, Renika. No lie. It was the craziest thing ever. Basically, when the horn went off, everybody like kind of panicked. I remember looking around like, what is going on? I'm like 5 years old. And then my aunt was like, somebody trying to break in the car, but this is before like everybody had a car alarm. I was little. But somehow, some way, that alarm went off, and they had to disconnect it because and we would call it now the sensor.
Yeah.
You know, during the period of time, I don't know. I mean, maybe some of our listeners, can be able to tell us. But yeah, they had to disconnect it because the horn had triggered itself and wouldn't stop from going off. And loud as that horn, you couldn't endure that for 30 minutes.
I think during our live, I want to tag. I don't think my cousin is on social media, but his wife is. I need them to tell the story of how my dad had to rig, if you know the first word that comes before rig, for the culture. Um, he had to rig my cousin's Lexus to get from Ben Harbor to Chicago because he had forgot the code. Because at that time, you had the code to get in the car,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
yeah, he forgot it, and that alarm sound for it felt like forever. So when you said that, that's what it made me think about. I'm gonna have
Trigger.
to.
Trigger, right.
There's another story out there just like ours. Like we y'all know about the alarms. There's just like goodness, it's just
Yeah,
so sensitive
yeah.
to those horns on those older or not. Well, it was in the 90s. That Cadillac was in the 90s. That it sounded like a train. It was basically like move, get out the way. That's what it was basically saying.
Okay, I've always been a horn person. I'll blow in a minute. I don't
Okay,
mind blowing a
Demeter.
horn. I'm a horn blower.
Oh,
Oh,
I've been on the phone with you
oh,
blowing
yeah.
the horn.
So, but it's crazy living here. People double park. So if let's say this, let's say you have to be to work at 9 o'clock. You get out to your car at 8 o'clock. It's gonna take you 45 minutes to get to work. You are double parked, and nobody's on the other side of you. How are you gonna get out of this parking spot? How are you gonna get out?
The curb?
No, how you gonna jump the curb? You against the curb, and they right here. The only way you can get out is lean on that horn. And I'm not lying to you. Every once in a while, I would say at least once a week, once every 8, 9 days, you'll hear somebody.
Wait.
I just did it. I just did it last week. I just did it last week. Where at first, bringing when you push the horn. A lot of people don't like pushing on the horn on a car because it brings attention to them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you need to move, you need attention. And it needs to be long enough that it irritates everybody around so people be like, what's going on? And then that'll make people trigger to be, oh yeah, my car, I probably need to move. I've seen people in like a store be like, oh yeah, I heard that there. I need to go move my car. Yeah. So the horn is important. It's
Wow.
important. Yeah, I love that horn.
because I know she listens. Demita, lean in because I want to know if you remember this. Because Demita's Jeffrey when it comes to driving. They're like this.
Let her
I'm
have
driving. Hmm.
it. I'll let her have it.
Mm-hmm.
She can have
I'm
it.
driving. She's in the passenger seat. I feel like we're out of college at this point. Demita link because I didn't. I was like, oh my gosh, what the f are they doing? Talking about somebody that cut me off or whatever. Demita leans over and pushes the horn for me. I said, can you let it go? I mean, they're gone. They're gone. They need to know. I said,
Don't do
okay.
that again. I'm with her. High five, Demeter. Five. Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm sick of
Definitely.
all of y'all. Just tired.
I'm
Just
serious. I'm serious. Like it's
tired.
if you have no reason, that's what it's there for. Let's use it. If you know what they say, if you don't use it, you lose
Okay.
it.
So yeah, that's what I think about when I think about November. I think about gathering, a lot of family gathering in a small home full of love, laughter, and a lot of it talking. If you know what I mean,
The good times roll.
the good times, the good
See,
times.
I think probably more if I had to like bunch everything together because life kind of like sections you off. There
Yeah,
was a there was a childhood, there was college years, there's a post college years, and then there's like okay, okay, I'm in the okay.
it's the over 40 check engine
Yeah,
light series.
okay, okay. So the thing is here, if I had to compartmentalize everything, November reminds me of like food and stuff just because I grew up around food.
Hmm.
And um I don't really see my family during November, especially like since I moved.
Hmm.
Um And then December reminds me of the family time because instead of us spending like Thanksgiving and stuff, we would spend like the first week of December, together, or you would make sure you go see other people in the family during December. So that's why family reminds me of December, but food, I gotta eat first before I see y'all.
November.
I gotta see y'all. Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of that, I just want to share a quick family memory when it comes to the holidays. If you know, you know, you from Ben Harbor or from surrounding
Midwest,
areas,
baby.
you may or may not have tried my grandmother's cooking. She had two restaurants, one that was very successful in the 90s, Tammy's restaurant, but grandma never cooked small portions, so it was always for an army. That's just how she grew up. That's how she's always cooked. It was an holiday and Thanksgiving, she believes in having multiple choices of meat. So her turkey was there, turkey and the dressing. But the ham was over. The turkey and dressing was, I think, on the table or probably on. And she had two stoves, two ovens. That's what was in her kitchen. So this year, I guess she really didn't feel like dealing with us. And she always had the to go containers. The styrofoam was like, yeah, just get you a container and beat it. I don't feel like it this year.
Funny that she got to go containers. Very
And the
funny.
fact that I
That's
have them in
awesome.
I have them now, so I think
Inherit.
I kind of got that from her. Yep, yep, I totally did, totally did. My cousin, and I'm gonna say her name, Samara. Samara was in the kitchen cutting ham for herself, a portion for her to take home. And Samara's cutting said ham and cut herself while cutting the ham. And she was like, dang, grandma, dang, I didn't come, talking about she cut her finger. We see blood and everything. Grandma didn't ask, was she okay? She just asked, did you get any blood in my hand? And I
Right.
thought to
Ah,
myself,
that was the first thing I thought too. I hope she didn't put no blood because old people. That was the first thing. Don't mess up. Now, are you okay?
She said, "Grandma, I could have been cutting my finger off." She said, "No, I need to know. Did you take that hand away from that ham and drop any blood in that? I need to know that." So when I think about November and Thanksgiving, I think about be careful when you are cutting any meat or cutting anything. Period, and just make sure you don't get any blood on any food. But
Mm,
it's not about are you okay. It's just don't you be dripping nothing in that food. Cheers.
nothing. Not juice.
Okay, so what about you? Okay, I you talked about voting in New York. Is this your first time voting in New York? And if not, do you have any funny stories?
Just got a funny story about voting.
Mm.
Because it is what it is.
And
But
it doesn't have to be New York either. I mean, you've clearly lived in Michigan, so I'm looking for a funny voting or civic story.
understood. But this is not. This is look understood. I know the task
Got
at
it.
hand. Yeah.
Boom.
Um, this is not my first time voting in New York. I voted. This may be like my fourth or fifth time voting in New York. Initially, when I moved, I was like, I want to keep my ID, blah blah blah. But uh, I'm paying all these high ass taxes out here. I'm gonna start to exercise my right to vote. So, um, did that. Funny story about voting is actually in 2003, excuse me, November of 2004, I had an opportunity to take my grandmother um, voting. And the ironic part about it, one would say, I don't want to say ironic. I took my grandmother voting because at the time my grandmother was like maybe close to 80 years old. And so that was kind of like our thing. Like she
Mm-hmm.
instilled in me, like I remember in the mid 80s, late 80s, let me say late 80s going to, I remember in 1988, my grandmother going to vote for the presidential election for Michael Dukakis. Okay, that's how I remember. Like years and years. So I was instilled like you vote. Like she would cuss out her kids who didn't take her to vote. Like it was mandatory. You
Mm-hmm.
had to
Mm-hmm. You voted. Yeah. Yeah.
so I come from a long line of voters.
Me too.
So I'm a voter. So my grandma wanted me to take her to vote 2004 Kerry versus Bush, anti-Bush at the time. Well, they were very much, you got poll watchers. Uh,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
the poll watchers, they were, they are basically there to make sure that no improprieties, no one's cheating, no quick things are happening on election day. Well, just so happened my grandmother is 70, late 70 years old. She gets her ballot. They was like, oh well, you can't go in the voting booth with her. I said, yes, I will. One, she's a super senior citizen. So I'm definitely going to go in here because I can't read some of this stuff on here. But of course, I was exaggerating because, I was young and ready, I was,
Yeah.
I don't even like using that term, so I won't use it. But,
Okay.
um, yeah, I was ready. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
my grandmother, she was like, "Come on!" And I was like, "Were they trying to stop me?" And she kind of turned, and I was up. I know that turn, but they
Hmm.
don't know that turn. But
Yeah.
so
I
we
know
just
that
kept,
term.
we kept moving. We end up going in there voting. But the thing is, once you come out, and everybody knows this, when you go to the ballot, it's important for it to be seen for the person as you to put the ballot in the box.
Yes.
Well, in some states, they allow you to take the ballot out and just put it in there. In some states, they make you keep it in this little case and then you just slide it in there. Well, if you're have any disability, and that disability could be you're just too young, it's your first time going to vote, you just don't know.
Hmm.
It could become cumbersome. So my grandmother, late 70s, early 80s, pre stages of dementia, just wasn't getting that part. So the poll worker came in steaming hot. I mean, piping hot, which was crazy, because my grandmother knew her. You know what I'm saying? Like, not only did she know her, I don't think that I don't think that she knew my grandmother at the time because you just work in the polls.
Mhm.
But then my grandmother's older, so she didn't know who this person was. And so this person was like, "Well, you can't put the ballot in there for her." And my grandmother turned around and said, a few choice words. I ain't even gonna say the FUB that she mentioned in the air. So I was just like, hey, well, you might look if you don't put the ballot in there, I'm gonna have to put it in there, or something's gonna go down. So actually, the poll worker went over there and she put the ballot in there because my grandmother said, "I'm not put." Her direct words were, "I'm not shitting with her no more." And that's old school. So by
That
that time,
is.
it was
That's
time for me
definitely
to
old school.
leave because if not, I had a lot of explaining to do. So yeah, that's my voter election story, as in, and that was in 2004. But it's not a time that when I ran for local mayor, I remember standing on the corner with my signs, vote for me, in the pouring rain. It rained all day. I mean, 30, no, 42 degrees and that rain that it rains all day, like it did in New York City today. It rained
Mhm. Mhm.
all day long. So you were just soaking wet, you know. But I believe in the spirit of it. Election day, it makes me happy sometimes. Just the love, the passion, the emotion. It's actually one thing that you can actually say collectively as a group. It's a group project.
Mhm.
It is a group project. So
Mhm.
from that standpoint, yeah, I really like election day.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm in. If you say election day, oh man,
Ian like Flynn.
you know how many nights I've stayed up? I remember when George W. Bush and Um, you date yourself, you start throwing things out there. But George W. Bush and Bill Clinton went against each other in 1992. And they had us coloring the maps as little kids. And I made sure I had my little blue pencils and my red color pencils. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to, actually, it's her birthday today. Shout out to Miss Gorman.
No
Yeah,
way!
it is. She's the
Happy
one.
birthday!
Yep, she's the one had us during the
Mental
election.
math.
Well, no, this was the election. She
Mental
had us
math.
well rounded. Just because you can count numbers real fast like me, don't mean that she wasn't teaching us other stuff. Because obviously, I love me some government, but we
Clearly.
were doing it. So shout out to Miss Gorman. It's her birthday today, 10:30.
Absolutely happy birthday. I don't think my mom probably does because she don't need Facebook reminders for a birthday. She
Yep.
just be rattling it off.
Well,
Yeah.
when you know, you know.
Cause Miss Gorman, what did she say when I was in 6th grade? When I was graduating, she said, "Oh, Miss Williams, I'm really gonna miss the sweet Christmas gifts and stuff you used to get."
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
You
on,
didn't
hold
know
on.
about this?
You got some explaining to
Oh, you
do.
didn't know about this?
You used to give our teacher Christmas gifts. No wonder y'all never used to get in trouble.
Lean in, because my mom's probably like, the secret sauce is now out. My mom used to make the most beautiful baskets for like Mother's Day. She's probably done a Father's Day one too, but these are the ones I saw. I delivered Mother's Day, Teacher's Day, Christmas, but really Christmas, like Christmas and probably Mother's Day, but definitely Christmas.
Come on,
They
Christmas.
got nice stuff because my mom worked for Pennies, and it would be full of these great fragrances and just all of the frilly things for a girl. So yeah, she totally used to get Christmas gifts.
No wonder you used to never get in trouble. You were getting bribes. They were bribes. I can't wait to see your mom. I
They
was like,
weren't
oh,
right.
oh, bribe here.
This is also around the same time when Jeffrey discovered that he had a crush on my mom. So let's not go there.
That's fine. That's why I'm gonna come back, old bribing. Look, look, low key. Teachers used to get like little perks, along the way.
Mm-hmm.
You call. I remember this is the '90s. Okay, so we got out of the '80s. I'm talking about the '90s now, y'all. in the 90s, this is when you call your parents like, "Oh, I don't want the school lunch." This is the our parents' kids, which is us, because our parents couldn't call their parents talking about something
Absolutely not.
like that wasn't
No.
an option.
Uh-uh.
That's why we talk so harsh now, and Gen Z be like, "What?" No, there's a set of people that you didn't dare call them for no BS like that. But during our
Mhm.
generation, I would call, oh, I want a Whopper with cheese, for lunch. And then my mama, I remember asking, I remember asking if I could call my mama for lunch. And Miss Gorman one time said, well, ask your mama if she could bring me something too. I do remember I do remember that. So I guess I threw a bribe in there too. My mama did one for me too. Teachers getting all the bribes.
Alicia and Jennifer, to the floor. What have y'all gotten? To the floor. What have y'all? Starbucks gift cards,
Right, right, right.
Bath and Body Works, like to the floor.
Hey,
To the floor.
look, they go through at the beginning of the year and say, oh, 32 kids. That's 16, at least 16 gifts coming.
Gas cards.
Every time, every
Dunkin'
time.
Donut gift card. To the floor, y'all. To the floor. Should have been an education. I should have listened to my dad. You get summers off. I could have been getting gifts too from 16 different kids. Doing it. Shoot. I wouldn't be buying my own nail polish if that's the case. Dad doing it.
Yeah, they've been getting over. They've been getting over. Shout out Miss Gorman. Miss Gorman.
Shout out. Speaking of that, we're going to go right into what? At the playground.
Yeah, you know.
Playground. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Woo.
That was
When
fun.
we talk about childhood memories of being aware of politics for the first time, who did your family talk about around election time? Ooh wee! I know you shared that one story, but should I go first on this one? Because oh my!
Yeah, I'll let you lead this time. It's elections, so I'm
I
I'm a
know he was ready.
talkative
He was ready. He
man.
was ready. He was ready. He was ready. One of my first memories of election time is my grandfather, John Williams, was the first Black Justice of the Peace in Southwest Michigan. And he was really big on voting, his family voting. He wasn't really big on buying gifts or like Christmas gifts or birthday gifts, but when you turn 18, he was gonna make sure that you were registered to vote. So when I was a little girl, I knew election day he already owned property, so he wasn't really home anyway because he was out like either managing them, working on them, or something like that. But election season, and especially election day, you wasn't gonna see granddaddy. He was gonna be in and out, in and out, in and out. But
Get people registered to vote and stuff. He
he
was
was
busy.
taking folks to the polls.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So that's why when the older I got, I just kept thinking like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to turn 18 so I can vote too. Granddaddy's going to take me to vote too. Of course, not really realizing how old my granddaddy was back then. And so he died 3 years short of me being able to register to vote. But that's something that I think about every time that I am approaching election day is that my granddad was born in 19 my grand not great granddad my granddad was born in 1912 in
Mhm.
Mississippi,
Oh wow.
migrating from Mississippi to Michigan and all these firsts that he encountered. And I just thought, man, I am so proud of this family of voters, especially on my dad's side. It's oh no, we carve out that time either if it's before work or after work. I'm going to vote. I am going to exercise that right to vote. So I'm very thankful in the aspect when it comes to I grew up seeing it, so therefore I continue to exercise my right to vote. Because if you know the history of how, especially Black folks, have fought so hard and long for us to be able to vote, if you knew that history, you would be getting out there too.
Well, I
So
mean, it's being erased now. So if you don't know, it's in the news now.
yeah, yeah,
Outside of just SNAP benefits, but they are 40 years of voter right act legislation has been erased in 60 days.
yeah.
But you asked me, I got a couple that I want to
Let's
share.
go.
Yeah, one you were talking about your father, where he was like got to carve out time.
Hmm.
That's huge, so huge. Like, peer example would be my mother. Voting started whatever time my mom before she went to work. She made sure she
Yes.
voted. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to work before I vote. It's like,
Hmm.
damn, like this is
Hmm.
serious,
Hmm.
which in turn led into my family. They know I don't believe. Like, I'm big on voting, especially when I needed their votes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
come on now, y'all didn't
Yeah.
heard me. Y'all really like when they say you seen a candidate grow up, like you really seen a candidate grow up. Like, come on now, I need your vote.
Yeah.
Um, so my big thing is I came up with this. If you don't show me your sticker, I don't believe that you voted.
Every time I vote, they're like, oh, okay, I put my ballot in. They say, oh, okay, thank you. Nuh-uh. Where
I
my
need that
sticker?
sticker, player. I need that sticker. Yeah, that's like a permission slip. Yeah, it's how I get back to where I was going.
That's it.
You know.
I
Yeah.
might not even put it on my person, but I'm taking a picture of it and I'm posting it to Facebook like, guess who voted today? It's me. You next. Tag you it.
And then the last one is I would be remiss if I don't mention the whole in 2008, November 2008, with President Obama, just being able to go with my grandmother in 2008 to
Yeah.
have her cast her vote. I wasn't there to watch, so I don't want nobody to go back saying it was election fraud.
Hmm.
I wasn't there to watch the actual vote, but she proclaimed at the time that she voted for Barack Obama. And to be in her company at 11 a.m., I mean, excuse me, at 11 p.m. with her on the right, my cousin was like on my left. It was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I remember I I ain't celebrated no graduation the way I celebrated that night. Like,
Yeah.
graduating from high school, graduating from
Yeah.
college.
Yeah.
I haven't celebrated anybody's anything the way that it just felt as if like you had accomplished. Just like I mentioned earlier, it was like a group project and we just had did the damn thing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
so it was just big. It was big. Yep.
That is big.
That's mine when you talk about those elections, at the playground. That's me.
Absolutely. All the time. All right, y'all. We're going to jump into culture check. I got to. Okay. Next week, y'all, I promise I'm going to come up with some cool little jingles. Culture check. Culture check. Okay. I know. Okay. Since we talk about this being No Shave November and men's health awareness and everything that falls under that, we want to explore how civic duty, self care, and storytelling all overlap. Showing up matters, whether it's at the polls or at home. Um, is there any word, like, if you could encourage someone, even a black male, to vote, what would you say?
Was in the purse, as in that vote, you can micro target what you want to get done.
Hmm.
You can say, "Hey, I want to make sure this," and you can strategically micro target that person that's in charge of that cause. Meet that person, show them your reasoning, participate, expand their thought, and actually make change. Now, it may take 6 years to do it. It may take 10 years to do it. However, it's possible. So that's the difference in voting. And it didn't cost you anything. It cost you effort and energy to get what you want. That is what politics is. That's how
Hmm.
laws are made. It's when someone says, the I try to simplify it. In a school zone, the miles per hour is what? The max.
Is it 25?
25 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't always the case. Somebody made a decision because of said incidents, and so there were causes that led to the effects that now nationally it's
Hmm.
25 miles an hour as being a max. Somebody started that cause. So all I'm saying is it only takes a little bit of effort, and it's a community project. So you can't. It's one vote. One vote. That a person will say, "Well, my vote don't matter," but
Mm-hmm.
a collection of votes does.
Talk about how to drop a mic. You made me want to vote today, tomorrow, the
Yeah,
next day.
I'm, like you said, we from generations of voters. Like
Mm-hmm.
like I remember my grandmother like telling people like young people that were like young in their 20s, and I was like 8, 9 years old, and her ridiculing them about not wanting to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Same. Yeah.
I remember, you're not supposed to in church, but the church has always been just like we see it now, Turning Point USA. The church has always been a vessel for information when it comes to its people. Like it is what it is. They made that the job is not to sway you in one candidate or the other because I remember how strategic they would be. I'm not telling
Mm-hmm.
you who to vote for, but I don't like this. I don't like that. You
Yeah.
know, I don't support this. So,
Oof. Well, that's how you segue into Foolishness Files, because
well,
silly
that's foolish.
debates. Ready. Silly family debates. Silly family debates that start with politics but end with food or football. Anything that lightens the heaviness of the day when it comes to voting. I remember I did shame someone into voting. I hope they're listening. I definitely shamed them into voting. I said, if anything, you have a son that is looking up to you, that you need to be modeling certain behaviors. Like this is something that you need to be exercising whenever there is a vote. You need to be out there exercising your vote. We don't want you on Facebook complaining. That does that sometimes get the ball rolling, of course, but you still got to get out there to those polls and vote, please. But when you hear about from long lines to that one person who wore the wrong shirt to the polls, I just want to talk about the last. I feel like it was 5 years to this day, and Jeffrey, you can tell me if I'm wrong. The election of 2020, was that also on November 4th?
Man,
Okay, so
that was
I'm
it.
just
Why
just
you going
chime
so
in and
short?
say yes or no. Okay. Hey, again, when before work, we were in the middle of the pandemic, but still had to attend work. Still had to go to work because I need to get paid. Um, Election day, I get up, get dressed, head to the polls around 7:30. I believe. I feel like I text Terrell. I text my friend Terrell to say, "Hey, I'm heading to the polls." So we were literally in the lines at the same time. And I get there, mask on, inside. But I get to the line. I get to the front of the line, and I'm verifying my address with my ID. And I take my mask down because the girl couldn't hear me. So I quickly take my mask down and I put it back up. I go to I go to vote, get my sticker, and I can walk to the poll, but I mean, I wanted to drive and park and all that. So I was able to see classmates and everything. I get home. I said, you know what? I was around all those people. Let me take a shower again before going to work. This time I was like, no, I'm gonna run a bath. I just want to soak a little bit. I get out of the bathtub and it's bone chilling cold. Like I've never shivered like that before in my life. And I thought to myself, oh God, I think I got COVID.
I knew what that was. As soon as you just said that bone chilling cold dog, I've had it before. That, yeah.
It was it was so many people in that line that that didn't have masks or didn't have it over their nose and their mouth, and I thought I was like, "There's no way I caught it that fast." But those symptoms came then, and that was the longest 2 weeks of my life. So when I go back to election day, it's like no matter I do not regret. Make that crystal clear. I do not regret going out there and vote because I know I probably didn't catch it that day. The symptoms were that day, but I feel like I got it from work because when nobody wearing no mask and y'all know who you are.
But they said that you could catch it like instantly.
It, clearly, I did.
I remember this is what shocked me during COVID, and I don't mean to take this
No, I'm done. After that, but still, I voted, and still I rise. Oh,
one
what
second.
was that? Hey, pipes.
Yeah, my German Shepherd showed up.
I'm present.
But what the heck was I gonna say? It was oh, COVID.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I remember back in 2020 when they mentioned with COVID, and they were like, you can sneeze, and when you sneeze, it covers 16 feet.
Yep, I do remember that. Yep, you
So
could
every
catch it.
time now in my head, when I hear somebody sneeze, I wish you would sneeze around me now. Like if I'm in the public, I dodge it like it's a semi coming at me because
We
it
were
goes everywhere.
We were in DC this summer for a board retreat, and there was someone sneezing at the table behind us. Jeffrey got up and left.
It's too much. It's too much. It is way too much because you can clear a room with a damn sneeze. I'm telling you.
Funniest ish ever. Mind you, we had one person already at the table that's dealing with food poisoning. And then you got this one. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to see y'all outside."
Uh, that sneeze was ridiculous. I don't do the sneezes like that.
Clearly.
Ever since COVID, when they showed on the news that when you sneeze it projects 16 feet, I said, "Oh no, oh man, this is nuts." Just imagine, have you ever been around somebody that sneezed like 3 times in a row? Oh, that's a biological attack, dog. No, that is crazy. It
Um,
is.
Why do I bother? Why do I bother? Why do I bother?
Man. Um, I used to be a hardliner. Getting back to voting, I used to be a hardliner on voting, like with the family. Once I got above age, I was 24. I ran for mayor. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a hardliner when it came. There was enough that even family members, if they told me they weren't gonna vote, I ain't mess with them like that no more. Like for real. Like I leaned off because it wasn't we would have a conversation about it, and then they were like, well, my vote don't matter, and then you explain things to them, and then the day would get there, and then they would come up with every excuse to
Mm-hmm.
not, but then you're gonna complain about your local government, your state government, your federal government, but you're not participating as a individual, and just paying taxes is not enough, because why would you pay taxes on, well, one, a lot of times you only pay taxes on a few things, like the things that you buy at the grocery store, because you're not paying tax because you don't own things. So there's a difference that's there. But at least you have it. You mean we have the right to vote, and so I was a real hard liner, enough to cut off. Over time, I learned that people can change, and then you're not helping by cutting people off, because
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden they become a hardliner, and then you get extremists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They want to do the opposite because it's the opposite. Because nothing's worse, that gets underneath my skin is when you do the opposite just because you want to be the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in my family, um, um I remember we used to talk like social issues, like my grandma and them. But
Yeah.
a lot of social issues was like church based. Church based social issues. Like, what did you see her dress was too short?
Yeah.
She didn't
Yeah.
have a hat on. You know
She
what
had
I'm
on red
saying?
lipstick and red nails.
Yeah,
Like,
those type of. I mean, we
mm-hmm.
always fought for the poor. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And what I mean by the poor is I remember going to the. Um,
Soup
I
kitchen?
remember. I remember I don't know if it was a soup kitchen as a kid, but I remember we used to get boxes of food.
Okay.
So I don't know if it was a soup kitchen, but it was something that it was the norm. They gave us
Yeah.
that block of cheese and a bunch of other canned goods. That's how I know now you keep canned goods in the house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like now we're going
Mhm.
through at times we've had it, my lifetime we've had food crisis. Now we're talking about benefits crisis. But you always kept some beans in the house. And beans can last forever. You know what I'm saying? And the things, as my grandma would say, the things that you used to didn't like, you'll learn to like them when you're hungry.
As my dad said, when them sides get to touching,
You're gonna eat that.
you gonna eat that.
You're gonna eat that.
It's time for rapid fire.
I'm ready.
Oh my gosh.
Are you
What
ready?
is I'm ready. I stay ready. Okay.
Okay.
Your favorite election day snack or ritual?
My favorite day ritual. I don't really have a snack.
Me either.
Because when you're on if you've been on the ballot, you don't really want to eat. You're staying busy, so people will give you stuff just to make sure that you eat. But a ritual is to my sticker.
That's it. That's it for me. Just give me the damn sticker.
I want the damn sticker. Let me get the sticker and let me use my pre knowledge to elect some people.
Boom.
Yeah.
One thing you're looking forward to this holiday season.
I'm looking forward to seeing family. I'm kind of like on a hiatus right now from seeing family. Not anything personal. I just don't want to fly when the government is closed. To have less people in when I'm in a very vulnerable situation, I don't want to try it. So that's just how
Same.
I am right now. So
It's
hopefully, our healthcare premiums will stay low,
hmm
and the government will open.
I have to just totally agree with that. I've been seeing the $49 deal for flights and I want to go somewhere, but it ain't looking too good.
They send that little $49 flight, but every time I look from LaGuardia,
Oh,
it's
listen,
cheaper
it's
than
never
49.
$49.
It's
Yeah, I'm
never
just like
49. You
you want
49
me to
high.
you want me to go from you want me to for somebody that's from Ben Harbor, you want me to drive to Grand Rapids or Chicago to fly to those places?
And
No.
your commute may be just as long as the flight,
Exactly. No thanks.
or your commute to the airport, I should
Well,
say.
yeah, I know. Yeah, mine, if anything. Even if I want to fly to Detroit, that's 3 hours.
Yeah.
Bye.
6 hours. Don't forget, there's always a comeback.
I don't want to talk about it.
It's always
Just
around the
ride the
curve.
train, people. Just ride the train. Okay. Clean shave or beard vibes? I mean, we see.
Um, yeah, beard. I was gonna say clean. I used to when I was a kid. Um, but I had a kid face. Now it takes too much to shave this face. Like
Ah.
to keep it consistent. Like I would have to do it every day, and I'm definitely not that meticulous.
Uh-huh.
How about you? You like to see a guy with clean shave or beard vibe?
It made me think about I think it's Olive Oil. I think this is her song. I want a clean shaven man.
Okay,
That's what I used to sing. That's what I used to sing. That's what I used to sing. Now I just want you to be groomed.
okay,
So I like a beard or not. Mhm.
all right.
Mhm. I'm here for it.
You ain't giving no answer.
Huh? Huh? Huh?
Y'all hear her? Y'all hear her?
Huh? Huh? Mhm. Okay. What song gets you in a thankful mood?
This is what it said. Thankful. I'm gonna do thankful mood. It's so many. But the first thing that popped in my mind was this Christmas.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Sounds of Blackness. And this Christmas
Because we were thinking,
will
because when you
be.
say, like, I remember before I said November reminds me of food, family is December, but when we say holiday, I automatically think, Christmas time.
Yeah. I think mine will be Nat King Cole.
Okay, we're going
Have
to go.
yourself a merry little
Yeah,
Christmas. Yeah.
that's it.
That makes me think of. beautiful memories at home. The morning of Christmas. Yeah. So that would be mine. So what are
A
you?
random
What?
a random song, if you and this is for because I kinda remember it, but, sometimes I would stay over my cousin in them house because they stayed, like, right next door or right across the way. We stayed in the projects growing up, so it wasn't that far, and, I would stay over there for Christmas on a Christmas morning, and then I can go back over to my grandma's house and go do my own thing. And their stepdad would play the Ohio Players Fire every Christmas morning. I don't know how they started this family tradition, them growing up, but they would be asleep and he would start Ohio Players Fire, and it
The
sounds
fire.
I gotta
Whew.
go back
That
and
one?
listen to it. I'm not sure. I'm almost sure, but it starts off like this song is like 11, 12 minutes. Like
Yeah,
it's
I
a
mean they
whole
were back
thing.
then. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's a thing, like, I remember staying there, like, 2 or 3, Christmas morning, and that's how we woke up. We woke up to loud music.
Huh.
We wasn't worried about Santa and his bells.
Okay, okay. So, speaking of, what are you leaving behind before the year ends? Goodness.
I'm hoping, anxiety,
Mhm,
um,
mhm, mhm,
because I
mhm.
think that it's so much chaos.
Yeah.
It's so much chaos from the community. And I'm saying from our community, the American community,
Yeah,
that some people can function in chaos, but a lot of people can't.
that's true.
So, I would hope to bring down the anxiety and leave it in 20. You know how sometimes you be like, "Woo,
Yeah,
that 2020 was a mug," like
yeah,
we did with COVID. Like I
yeah.
hope we do that with 2020.
2025, I also want to leave anxiety behind. 2025, I was at more funerals than usual, so I don't want to experience that again. I just don't. I know that it's a part of life, but I just already working in grief work, bereavement work. No, I just let's all just stay healthy
Yeah, they
as much as possible.
to go. You know, because death means ends, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's
Mhm.
just and then not only your grieving you are not only their grieving process, but then it becomes yours because you went to show your respect, so you have to grieve too.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. So, and then an additional is student loan debt. All right. Just leave that on the table. Just
I mean, you look, I look, we were going through that rapid fire at the end. I was thinking like, man, we like twins for friends for real. Like all of our stuff was just aligning together. Yeah, definitely with them damn loans.
get them out of here. All right. So you all, wow, that's the
Wow,
end.
wow,
That's the end.
wow,
We
wow.
want to remind you all to vote and check in on each other. It's this is usually when the season where we see the increase of people completing suicide. We actually had a former student that completed suicide about a week ago, and check on each other. Do not think that you don't deserve to check in on your mental health. Like, therapists are out there. If you don't have one, contact me. I love connecting someone with resources and therapists and just really working on yourself. This is that season where the days are getting shorter, the nights are longer. You're more isolated because the seasons are changing and it's not as warm and vibrant and sunny as it is the rest of the year. So and then the holidays for a lot of people is really hard, especially when you starting to see family members transition into ancestors, and it's a lot. So I want to encourage you that there are resources out there. We see what's going on in our political climate, just in our country, just in the world, period. But just know that there are people out there that are armed and ready to assist you and help you. So don't ever forget that. So just definitely, if you need any assistance, slide in those DMs. I try to just even put the information out there when I think about it. But yeah, if you are struggling, let somebody know. Okay, we can't help if we don't know. I do want to also highlight that again, we thrive off of you all telling us what you love and what you don't love about the show. So if you are on YouTube, you're able to watch us. Wherever you listen to podcasts, you're able to hear us. But definitely, there's an opportunity in both spaces to leave a comment, and your voice will be heard by us. And I thank you. And you can find me, Ronika.Williams, Ronnika .Williams on Instagram, and I'm Ronika Williams on Facebook. So you can definitely find me in both locations. And then we do have the Please Do Tell podcast page. So if you wanted to slide something in there too, we will find it there as well. So, Jeffrey, what you got?
Again, thank all of our viewers, thank all of our listeners for spending time with us this
Mhm.
session. Don't
Absolutely.
don't forget to vote. It is your right for right now because we know that right can change. All right.
Mhm.
Um,
Absolutely.
I am Jeffrey Booker. You can find me on Facebook. And you can also find me on Instagram at Mr. Fantastic World at MrFantastic World WORLD. So again, thank you, Renika. Good to see
Good to
you.
see you. Always. We will see you all for the next episode of the Please Do Tell podcast. And don't forget to go vote. You still have time. This
Absolutely.
episode has premiered and you have time to go vote. So go do it. And we'll holla.
Peace.
Bye.